The strategic Bitcoin reserve is happening. Here are 4 things the United States must do when it comes to the SBR. First, it must contain Bitcoin and Bitcoin only, no altcoins. Bitcoin is the most secure, most decentralized, and most censorship resistant cryptocurrency. No other cryptocurrency possesses all of the following features: an immaculate conception with no pre-mine, no leadership team or controlling entity, geographically distributed nodes, and proof of work mining. These properties are indispensable for a digital network seeking to avoid single points of failure, and nearly every other cryptocurrency fails to meet these criteria. There's a handful of Bitcoin hard forks that do meet this criteria. However, they are all left in the dust by Bitcoin in terms of important quantifiable metrics: hash rate, node count, market capitalization, and realized capitalization. Bitcoin is the most secure digital asset network, and BTC is the most liquid, censorship-resistant digital asset. It would be unwise for the United States to waste time and energy stockpiling other digital assets. Bitcoin is the one. The next thing we want to see from a strategic Bitcoin reserve is the publication of the on-chain addresses. This is simple and easy to do. El Salvador has publicized their Bitcoin addresses, and they have even partnered with mempool.space to create a nice visual user interface for everyone to verify the legitimacy of the Bitcoin holdings. We want to see the same thing from the United States SBR. This way, the citizens of the United States can see exactly how much Bitcoin is being held, and they'll know if the coins ever move on-chain. The third thing we want to see is consistent accumulation. It's not enough to convert the government's existing holdings into the reserve. The United States needs to continue stockpiling as much Bitcoin as they can. After all, there is a finite amount of Bitcoin. Just like the United States stockpiled North American land generations ago, and we now reap the benefits, future generations of Americans will benefit from a US Bitcoin stockpile, a digital manifest destiny, so to speak. Again, we can look to El Salvador as a good example of this. El Salvador has purchased 1 Bitcoin a day every day for the past few years. The United States should do something similar, albeit with much more volume. The fourth and final thing we want to see is for the United States to start mining Bitcoin. This is extremely important and not discussed enough. Firstly, it would help with point 3 when it comes to consistent accumulation. The United States SBR could easily trigger a massive wave of Bitcoin buyers, making it difficult for the country to accumulate an adequate amount of Bitcoin. However, there are still over 1 million Bitcoin left to be mined, most of which will be mined in the next 10 years. The distribution schedule of these coins is programmatic, and the United States needs to mine in order to earn some of those coins as they enter circulation. But more importantly, the United States needs to mine in order to secure the network in their Bitcoin from adversarial countries. To quote United States Space Force Major Jason Lowry, cyberspace is the 5th domain of power projection. Physical power is how humans have always secured property. First on land, then sea, then air, then space, and now the 5th domain, cyberspace. Proof of work mining creates a wall of energy that defends digital property, Bitcoin. By having a hash force, the United States can secure their Bitcoin holdings using physical energy and power projection and ensure their ability to move Bitcoin on chain.